Hello everyone,
It's Gabriel and Corentin, and today we're back for a new episode of 4 Hours Vex, which goes wrong on the program.
today we're going to set off alarms in Ireland,
We'll share how a Bulgarian guard robbed us.
but also how we set off an alarm once again in an abandoned factory in Romania.
At the end, we'll share our experience with the Chinese army stopping us, ending up at a Chinese military base, and later at the police station.
So make yourself comfortable because we're going to tell you these 4 stories right now, and it starts with the first one.
They're all in different countries, which is funny. Yeah.
Our first story is the shortest since we only had about 10 seconds to explore the place. It began when we tried to explore an abandoned gaming center in Ireland. There was supposed to be laser tag and pool tables.
That kind of stuff. And actually, what was really impressive about this place was that there was still electricity, but that's what ended up causing us some trouble, right after, really. There was still the laser tag things with the vests, you know, that were still lit up and everything, so it was really crazy. We absolutely wanted to go see what it looked like. A place completely plunged into darkness, but with a few lights still blinking everywhere. We were really impatient to explore it.
We did a first scouting at night the day before and we found an open door, so we're going to go there early in the morning at sunrise and we're going to open that door and sneak into the building while being really stressed because we had no idea what to expect at that moment.
I was thinking we were going to see more than that. Electricity, huh? Oh damn, look, we're getting shocked, look. It's the lights, damn, it's a noise, yeah, I don't think there's an alarm. At first we start to hear some noises inside. But not noises that are necessarily very worrying since they're just operating sounds, just electricity, little beeps here and there, but nothing too alarming. You see, so we keep exploring and we'll see what we find. I don't think there's an alarm either, damn, it's stressful. For now, the only thing I see that's better is fire safety stuff. Oh yeah, that was rude. The noise will only be in the entrance. It's the fire alarm with a dead battery. Yeah, something like that. The thing that beeps. That's us.
And when we enter the main room of this old gaming center, we're going to have the bad luck of setting off a direct alarm.
And at first I don't really know if it's an alarm, I'm just standing there because it's a sound that's pretty far away, like a truck backing up. Actually, it's because the alarm doesn't go off in the room itself, it goes off somewhere else. So we have a little moment of hesitation, we're like, damn, what do we do? And all that. And we tell ourselves that we're in Ireland, that security is extremely high in Ireland. We don't really realize it, so we decide to leave right away. And what we say to ourselves is that we're going to leave and hide a few hundred meters away from the place to see if anyone is going to intervene. Yeah, it looks like it. Let's go out. Maybe it's a truck in front. No, that's an alarm up there. Let's get out of here. Damn, let's get out of here. Yeah, let's get out of here.
That's what's happening. After waiting 10 minutes on a bench, someone will show up. I can't remember if he looked classy or not.
I don't think so, but he's going to show up with a truck parked right in front of the door we used. Kind of mysterious. Why that door? He's going to arrive really fast, go straight into the place, and at that point we're wondering, okay, I think he's looking for us.
After maybe 15 minutes of waiting, we see the person come out of the place, get back into his van. Obviously he hadn't found anyone since we weren't there anymore, and he gets back on the road to continue his work.
Does he lock the door or not?
Exactly, we returned later and it was still open.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Actually, we thought he was locking the door or doing something or whatever, but when we go back to the place, to the door is still like we found it, meaning we can open it.
It's strange that when we arrived, the door was open, he was watching us, and he left the door open in the middle of the street, especially since he's a security guard.
So we decide not to go back inside, because we know very well that if we go in, the alarm will go off again, and that he'll be around and arrive very, very quickly. And now we know that it's extremely well monitored.
It's true that in both Ireland and England alarms are well placed and there are many surveillance cameras. The fences we have to climb over there are hellish. It's really one of the most complicated regions to explore that we've ever experienced in our lives.
And that's why we decided to leave, because we knew very well that they would be extremely quick to react once again, and that could have really caused us trouble.
For the second story, we wanted to explore an old military base lost in the mountains in Bulgaria, and we had some information. One of the buildings had a bunker, and that was the goal of our exploration.
A huge bunker that was ready to withstand a nuclear attack. So really something quite massive and very deep underground. We were super hyped to do it, and we really thought, it's lost in the middle of the forest in a village where there will be no internet connection, really remote. We thought we had nothing to worry about, but what a mistake.
From the beginning, we noticed several signs on the trees warning of surveillance cameras. Not a good sign. We'll see if it's true. In any case, right now we've lost about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour of walking, in the middle of nowhere.
It's a hole that seems abandoned. I think very few people use it. There are still some tire tracks, which is pretty mysterious.
We'll arrive at the place, see 4 big soldiers, and park our car at the bottom of a dirt path that we'll take on foot to climb this mountain and reach the base. And as we walked along this path, we had no idea what kind of trouble we were getting ourselves into. And honestly, we should have been warned already. There were some signs saying, "Warning, surveillance cameras," but we didn't believe it at the time.
Look at the gate over there.
Oh damn, it's awesome, man.
Damn, but they look like Soviet Union logos.
There are so many signs and stars like that, and none are reassuring.
I didn't expect one like this.
This is the official entrance to the military base.
After about 10 minutes of walking through the forest, along small mountain paths, we'll arrive in front of a huge gate decorated with the colors of the former Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. You could say that, with communist stars, lots of signs written in Bulgarian that we can't decipher, and a logo that's going to catch our attention. Where it says MOBA, at that moment we didn't know what the logo meant, but it was actually the army's logo. There's a camera up there. There are a lot of signs, actually a huge number of signs.
I get the feeling that we're not supposed to be here.
There are a huge number of signs.
Is the camera really working?
Anyway, it's really the gate. Wow, that's crazy. It reassures us. I really didn't expect to come across something like this, yeah.
To get stuck like this in the middle of nowhere.
Besides, there's not really an obvious hole.
In the fence, you can see that there are several surveillance cameras, but we don't know if they're working or not. And you'll notice that behind the fence, there's a small shed that must have been used by a guard. Is it empty? Is there someone inside? We have no idea. In any case, we decide to turn back. We're not going to go through this gate, but instead we'll go through the forest to be more discreet.
What is that, do you see? The annoying thing is that we can't read what's written at all, but look, this logo, like what kind of logo is that? Entry is prohibited, it says.
Is it filming? Is it connected to something? Can it send information without the internet?
Yeah, if it has an antenna, sure, but I doubt it's connected there. It's a lightweight, very new camera.
They're brand new, man.
They're all shiny, damn. Don't we want to see the army coming or what?
It's a little scary, huh? But we're not going to give up.
But anyway, for us who were potentially looking for a bunker, these are more like life candies.
It just means there's something interesting there.
If we're lucky, we'll find a hole in the fence and slip through. We'll slowly head toward this village, not knowing exactly where it is. Since we don't really have a satellite view or a drone view, so we move forward, it's very complicated. Until the moment when we hear a dog barking. There's a hole in the fence. So we're going to enter an area, honestly, that's rather dangerous.
That's a security car passing below. They spot it immediately.
They'll know, and now they know. We're now in a hostile zone.
We heard the same thing.
We heard the same thing, yeah.
Big dog noise, barking that's really coming from, we're about 100 meters away, I think.
When we turn on the camera, they stop barking.
Think about the fact that we're walking, that they hear us, yeah.
Damn it, fuck, there's a dog in front. That's the worst thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, the worst thing. He heard us, but we heard him too.
Yeah.
It's better if we get there.
But now we're screwed, so damn, yeah.
And if there's a dog, there are probably humans too. To be a wild dog too, huh?
There are wild dogs in this city.
But well, with the cameras and everything, I don't think so.
He's a wild dog. Unfortunately, there's an army bunker right in front of us. We can't go there because of a damn dog. Ah, he's right there, damn. Damn, he keeps barking. We're gonna have to cancel, right? He makes a strange noise when he drinks, almost like a dog, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. You should know that in Bulgaria, stray dogs are actually pretty common, but it could also be a guard dog. We have no idea, so we're really walking into the lion's den and we keep moving forward, terrified. We know the dog hears us from far away. Even at one point, when we first heard the dog, we thought, that's it, there's a dog, there's nothing we can do, we're in the forest, let's get out of here. We actually started to leave, but then we said, no, we're in Bulgaria, we've come all this way, we're not going to stop just because of a bark, so we kept going. But we're going to get back to the main path a bit, because it was impossible to keep going through the forest, and that will probably be our mistake too. Being on the main path gave us a clear view ahead. If a van or car approached, we could step back immediately, unlike in the forest where that wasn't possible. As we continued, we were just 100 meters from the buildings we wanted to explore when we heard a voice behind us. Are we stupid? A little bit. Or are we brave? I don't really know. But instead of turning back, we said we'd go back to the main road, and what's there? Just to see what's there, to get some footage to understand, and to see if actually the dog we hear is a stray dog or a guard dog. Yeah, you should know that in Bulgaria there are a lot of stray dogs. Here, it's stressful because if it's a car, we're trapped. Yeah, well, you just have to run actually. We're starting to see the first buildings now. Oh, we're dead. There you go. Meanwhile, this voice calls out to us. We turn around and see a black silhouette in the distance watching us and coming toward us. So we say to ourselves, damn, it's a security guard, we have no choice. We have to go toward him and we start walking toward him. In the distance, we see him take something out of his pocket. It's a weapon. We're dead. Smoke, right? Yeah, I smoke. He has a gun, it's true. Yeah. He has one.
We just want to take pictures, that's it. We're photographers.
No, it's going to be a great event.
We're dead. Sorry, we have no choice. We're just here to take photos. I don't understand.
The portal can't see it!
We are from the woods. We have come out of the woods. Return. Yes, you. Sorry.
At his level, we try to talk, but he doesn't speak English and we don't speak Bulgarian. It's very complicated, we're very stressed because he still has his gun in his hand and he's reloading it little by little, and that's really very stressful and we have no idea how this is going to end.
It's okay. I hope I don't call the cops.
I don't know. Just to give you some context, only a few months before this exploration, we had a pretty terrible experience in Ireland where we got robbed by someone. She pointed her gun between our eyes, which traumatized us. We vowed never to go through that again. But a few months later, it happened again. And honestly, when you see someone with a gun, once again right in front of you, you're terrified. Damn, I hate guns. Yeah, he showed up with it in his hand, like, yeah, then he put it away, I think, yeah. It makes him laugh, but he was armed. We have nothing. We just have our little zizé, our little knife. He was already in the cabin. Actually, I think yes.
Where are we going now?
So we start trying to justify ourselves with pretty simple words like photo. He's not at all happy with us being there, which is understandable. He makes some calls and we figure we'll end up with the Bulgarian police. It's inevitable. Honestly, that's more reassuring than being with a guy who had a handgun.
We quickly noticed that there's something written on his shoulder. MOBA, the famous logo we had already seen before. And so we realized that the person in front of us is actually a soldier, or at least someone affiliated with the army, so obviously we're going to do what he says. He's communicating with people on the walkie-talkie, so we don't know where these people are. Whether they're already in the anti-nuclear bunker we were supposed to explore, or if they're downstairs. We have no idea. And what's going to be even creepier is when he keeps escorting us. While he's talking to his colleagues on the walkie-talkie, he's laughing. He finds the situation funny, but once again, that's always how it is. The person who's armed feels no pressure. He doesn't care about people who aren't armed. So he was mocking us, playing with his power a bit, and that made it even more frightening.
And of course we had all the darkest thoughts running through our heads. Maybe he'll kill us, maybe he'll bury us in the forest here, and no one will ever find us, obviously. But while he's on the walkie-talkie, we slowly get closer to the famous fence we saw at the beginning. We realized he was already in the guard booth and must have seen us when we stood at the gate.
So obviously he has the key to that famous gate, opens it, and basically tells us to get out, leave, go away. We explain to him that our car is down there and that we're going that way. He lets us leave. Fortunately, by staying behind us, he walks with us a bit, he accompanies us a little at the beginning, but always a few meters behind. So it's a bit creepy. What just happened?
Did you see? Things escalated fast.
From the
moment we said we were either stupid or brave, we were stupid.
We wanted more footage and thought it might be a stray dog. No, it's definitely land that belongs to the army, we suspected that. It's strictly forbidden to go there. You see, we couldn't access the whole village, so there's definitely something hiding over there. We'll never know what. With a weapon in hand, actually, you become a puppet. You can't move anymore. You just put your hands in the air and you don't make any sudden moves. And all that, you tell yourself, if you make one wrong move, your life is over.
But I'm curious why this security guard needs a weapon. Who would threaten him enough to require one? I don't know.
Oh no, but honestly, just seeing him with a weapon was unsettling. He didn't aim it at us, but he held it and even loaded it at one point.
Yeah, you saw?
He really loaded it, and that's scary. As we went down the mountain, we got to our car. Big surprise, there was no police there.
But you forgot something that happened.
What happened next?
2 minutes after we left,
Gunshot. Oh damn, we heard a gunshot, it's true, and I think we recorded it. What, we filmed it?
right after our reaction, yeah.
Then you weren't filming it, but just now we heard a shot coming. I think it came from behind. But seriously, there was a shot just now. Yeah, there was a gunshot.
We were discussing launching the drone when Martin joked, what if we hear a gunshot and the drone gets shot down? Right after we launched it, bam, gunshot.
We're walking calmly.
But honestly, later I saw over there a bit further, where I told you, come on, let's launch the drone. There was a shotgun shell, a hunting cartridge. Okay, so maybe we also have to consider that there's hunting going on.
And we didn't understand, by the way, why a shot was fired. Was it just to greet us?
Maybe hunters to scare us.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I remember. I was really scared. Actually, until we got to the car, we weren't calm.
Of course, we thought that when we got to the car there would be a police patrol, but luckily there was no one. We took off as fast as we could and left the place as quickly as possible.
So, yeah, it was really a very traumatic story. Now we're going to move on to the third Urbex that goes wrong, and this time it takes place in Romania, in an abandoned factory. So we wanted to go explore inside this abandoned oil refinery. We started to walk around because the place is absolutely huge. And when we go for the first round, we notice that there are some pretty high walls that have been built. And at the first gap we see, there's only one. Inside, a guard was keeping watch. We realized this would be tougher than expected, so we walked around and did an initial drone scouting run. With the drone,
We realized there's more activity than we thought. There are cars, there are workers working on certain sections of the factory, and we don't really understand what they're doing. But actually it's going to be much harder than we thought, knowing that our goal was to reach the big cooling towers that were almost right in the middle of the site.
maybe some of you have already seen the next clip, where the alarm is going to go off. Oh, I'm spoiling a little bit, but basically the full exploration of this place, we posted it on our second channel, Quarantine and Gabriel. There's a link in the description. Feel free to subscribe. It would be incredible if we could reach over 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're almost there, so go check it out. And that's also where you'll get exclusives like vlogs or explorations that have never been released on this channel. Anyway, let's get back to the exploration. We did a full tour and found a place where we could potentially get in through a fence, so we're going to park and start the operation. We're in such a state, not discreet at all. Oh, hell. We can't even escape quickly. Let me give some context to what we're doing. Oh, just something silly. We noticed many people working in this huge abandoned factory. An old oil refinery, and there are lots of people around, really a lot of people. So now we're trying to get back into it to start exploring and see what structures are here, but it's really complicated.
When we arrived at the complex, we went into a building for safety and to observe and listen to our surroundings. Because at any moment, a person or a car could show up, and that's really scary.
It's starting to get stressful, yeah. There are buildings absolutely everywhere, so here you want, I think here. Just by looking here, it will give us a bit of an idea of what to expect. The refinery is really huge. There's a building in really good condition over there. Oh yeah. We can go inside and maybe get a view of what's around. Go ahead. Wow, I don't see anyone. It just needs to not be in operation. Yeah. Since there are people nearby, the buildings might have people in them, but they look broken. We'll see. It's really beautiful. All this rusty steel in the middle of nature. We're going to go in there and I have thorns all over my shoes. Oh. Dude. It's a crazy camera, but like further away on the map when you want to show who it's gonna... Yeah, here, I'll show it to you. Look, it's a Soviet Union gas mask. Well, it's the kind of thing you find in abandoned bunkers. If it were a bit cleaner, I would have tried it on. Here, we have account books dating back to 2004. That's when things started to get complicated for this factory. It's too small, you don't want to put it on my bench for $5, do you? Now, we're a bit more at ease after the ordeal we went through. Getting to this building was complicated because you had to go through the forest and use visible roads. We planned to visit the cooling tower, which looked cool and seemed like a great destination. We mapped our route and already enjoyed an amazing view of the refinery. Once our plan was set, we decided to go. Do you think we could get on top of you? You're annoying. It's not for us. I hope it's for us. We didn't make any noise. From here, we could see some buildings better. Those were offices, I think, on that floor. There are also cooling towers that look really cool. Wow. You can see really well here. Okay, you can see the towers. You can see the towers really well. They're really nice. They're not huge, right? Yeah, but they're kind of cool, right? Yeah, okay. We're going straight, I think, oh no, we're moving away from the wall. We need to avoid the main roads. There, target cooling tower.
So we're in an outside area on pretty visible roads and we're barely 3 minutes away from the famous cooling tower we want to reach. And then, bad luck, an alarm goes off and it's a really loud alarm.
Let's get out of here, let's get out of here. Yeah, let's go. No, go like that to the right. If we can go faster, should we hide in a building or just leave? No, let's get out of here.
There's a car behind us.
So now, obviously we know, there's activity on the site and it will only take a few minutes before people join us to stop us. Basically because they know where the alarm came from and they know which area it was triggered in. So we know what we have to do. We need to leave the factory quickly, return to the car and avoid being caught.
It should go well, since we'll be outside the site in under 5 minutes. Fortunately, nothing serious happened, but we were really scared that day.
Now we're going to switch things up a bit, and for this fourth Urbex gone wrong, we're heading far away to China, because yes, we went to China in the months before. And something pretty scary happened, something we were really afraid of. We got stopped by the Chinese army while...
We were in the city of Wuhan to make a big video about the city. What is it like now after COVID? We had decided to start the day by exploring a water park right in the middle of the city.
For this water park. We had already been spotted by a parking guard who didn't let us enter the area where the water park was located. So we couldn't really find a place to get in, so we sat down somewhere on the street and launched our drone to get some drone shots. Up to that point, everything was normal. Shots of the city, it was pretty nice to do.
Shots also, to find a way to get into the area and be able to explore that damn water park.
Except that while we're exploring, we're going to get this shot. The area that's blurred out, maybe you guessed it. Actually, it's a military base, and at that moment, when I'm getting the shot, I have no idea that I'm above a military base, and nothing much is happening. I mean, we just keep getting the shots. We land the drone and we say, okay, we found an entrance, we're going to go that way. For us, everything's good. For us, it's really, really great, and we're going to be able to make our video. Except that while we're walking down the street to go to the place where we're going to enter, at some point we hear voices shouting and we turn around. And we see 4 Chinese soldiers, I think, at first. Yeah, there are 4 of them. They're running after us with sticks. We don't really understand, we're just, I don't know. Maybe there's a criminal loose in Wuhan and they're going to catch him, which sounds good, except the real criminals are us. It makes you think.
I have stupidity. Isn't it a bint to homeskare?
See, set incorporated.
Are you watching us?
They came, surrounded us with sticks and started threatening us. We can't understand what they're saying.
But all we understand is that they want us to follow them in a certain direction. In any case, there are 4 of them, there are 2 of us, they have sticks, we don't have sticks, so we're going to follow them. And actually we realized that quite simply right in front of where we stopped, we set up to launch the drone. Well, the military base is really just right there, so they're going to take us into the military base, and that's when we realize we're in a bit of trouble.
So they open the door for us and we go in. There were 4 of them, now there are 12 around us. I didn't count, but I think there were really at least 12. There was a photographer taking non-stop pictures of us, and the major, or I don't know, the general of the base came over and surrounded us. Some people were pretty nice and young, but others were really very wary about us being there. So obviously between France and China, there's a huge language barrier. So we start taking out our phones to try to communicate with them, and they tell us, "You filmed our base with a drone." Never in my life. I didn't even know that base was there.
By mistake, it could have happened actually.
So they ask us to look at our drone footage. We scroll through, and then the guy stops at something, shows us and says, "This is our base." And that's when we realize, damn, we filmed their base. And then,
so they take the drone controller, which they can use to view the footage. They also take our camera to see what we might have photographed or filmed with it. And they're going to ask us to stand under a surveillance camera while looking at it. And obviously we didn't mention it, but they have both our passports.
we're not acting tough at that moment. There are some crowd movements, and a soldier occasionally moves around the base to check things. People are talking, some on the phone, and there's a lot happening around us. It's frightening, especially since we're inside a Chinese military base where we shouldn't see what's going on. We're left wondering why we're here.
Gradually, we realize we're in serious trouble and we'll have problems. After about half an hour, they say a police car will pick us up and we'll have to explain ourselves.
When the police car arrives, what's really strange is that the police don't talk to us at all. They only talk to the military. And the soldiers send us into the police car with a soldier holding our backpacks who comes with us in the police car. And so we realize that we're being escorted to the police station.
When we arrive at the police station, we're going to come across something immediately very reassuring. The person taking care of us is a policewoman who seems much kinder and more understanding really, so already it's much more reassuring.
You should know that by that point we had already apologized about 1,000 times saying we're just tourists. We didn't know there was a base. We're really sorry. We just thought the city was beautiful. We just wanted to take some shots of the city and everything. When I explained this again to the policewoman, she said, "Yes, we know, don't worry," and all that. And they kind of drop us onto 2 seats. They still have our passports, of course. They're talking among themselves. They're calling people and everything. We really don't understand what's going on.
And a whole bunch of questions. They really ask us a lot of questions. What do we do for a living? Why are we here? Etc. While all these questions are being asked. 2 other soldiers join us at the police station who couldn't get in the car. We see the guy who was taking photos non-stop again, so he's still there taking pictures of us probably for a report, which is normal. And now the situation starts to drag on for a really long time. The situation is really scary. You can tell they're taking it very seriously. And when we tell them we have a train in just a few hours, they tell us that we'll have to cancel the train, that we won't be able to take it.
So we realize we're going to be here for a while and it's going to take a long time, especially with all the back and forth. So they're going to ask us to write down all our information on paper. So what we do for a living, first name, last name, nationality, phone number, address, all that kind of stuff. So
what do you do for a living? Did you tell them?
We said we were students. We didn't want to cause any trouble or anything. We just said students so they wouldn't ask any questions. At 25, having a beard as a student starts to look suspicious. We thought it would work and we're in that mindset, but we might not get out in time and could spend the day at the police station or even be detained. We just don't know.
So now we're at the police station. Kind of in trouble, I think, after flying a drone.
You can hear champagne in the background.
As time passes, more new people arrive. What's unsettling is some come in regular clothes, so you might not notice if they're the most important person in the world or not important at all. But it puts pressure on you not knowing who you're talking to, but after a good hour and a half there, the pressure starts to go down. The police officers come and offer us bottles of water.
So they start having a little chat with the police officers, which lightens the mood a bit, including for the policewoman. After that, she comes to tell us that in 30 minutes to an hour, we'll be out of there.
Obviously, we were able to take very few pictures of everything that was happening because it was a very complicated situation. We were also afraid our phones would be searched, so we couldn't have any compromising images on our phones. The little trick we used was to record videos via Snapchat, save them in my memories, and that way there was very little chance they'd check all the way into Snapchat memories. That's why there are only 2 or 3 low-quality videos showing what we experienced.
So, after several hours of being detained, we were finally released by the Chinese police and they told us to get lost. They deleted all the footage from our drone controller, but since it's only stored there, we still have the footage on the drone itself. That's how we got these shots. But yeah, we ended up getting arrested by the Chinese army after only 9 days in China.
We caught our train, but there's no full video of Wuhan. That's okay, as long as we're free, it's fine.
You got it. For those who don't know yet, we went to China. We filmed a lot of videos there that are going to be amazing. They'll be out in the next few weeks, so subscribe if you want to see them. For early access, become a channel member by clicking join in the description. We'd appreciate it, and it would really help our future projects. Plus, you'll enjoy early video access. This was Gabriel and Corentin. We'll see you next Saturday at 6 p.m. for an exceptional video from China.
Which one? It's written right there, I can see it, it's written there.
I admit it, it's written there.
Electric car, bye 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 bye.